Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I want to share this cute little 5" by 5" painting I did the other day, and hopefully it'll inspire you to get out your paints and play as well. We're using the Jelly Acrylic paint, and I like this paint because it is all open and ready to go, and I haven't had any issues with it drying out on me, and I've been using it for a couple of months, so I think it's pretty good news. But I'm going to start off by just base coating this little 5" by 5" stretch canvas with a really light peachy color. I thought that would be a really nice background for the sushi, and then I'm adding in a little bit of kind of a darker peach, and just to give it a little bit of variance and texture. And this reference photo I'm using is from the Food Paint Challenge on Instagram. I'll link to it in the video description so you can go check it out for yourself if you want to paint it and take part in the challenge. I got the angle a little bit funky on the bottom of the sushi, but don't worry, we'll figure it out. We'll kind of paint back into it and get it all squared away. I'm going with the kind of crazy colors because I don't know, I like to really push color and make it cute. Sorry for the reflection there on my reference photo. I had it on my phone so I could look it up, but I do want you to check out the Dennis's channel where he's got the reference photo, because I'm using his photo, so I want to make sure he gets the views as well. And I'm just basically base coating in my colors. This palette came with the set of acrylics, and I have to say it washed off really easily. I'm really impressed with this paint. I think because it's all like very, very matte, almost like an acrylic gouache. It's just so nice to paint with, and I don't get a lot of glare on the canvas when I'm painting, which is really nice, because I typically, if I'm going to do a painting with acrylics, I use Golden Open, and it's so shiny when I'm painting because it's very similar to oil paints that I can be bothered by the glare quite a bit, but not so much with this paint, which I think is really nice. So I'm just basically blocking in the avocado, the salmon. For the rice, I'm kind of using a round brush and just kind of stamping it on its side there to give those little rice granules. And I will vary the color a bit so that they stand out from one another. But this was a pretty easy painting, and I did it in, I think, around an hour, and I was taking my time. I was just kind of listening to a podcast and just puttering around with it, and it was so much fun. So I'm just kind of picking up some gray with my brush, dabbing some of the gray in the shadow area, knowing that I can dab over it with white or ivory to, bring the form of the little rice granules back if need be. And yeah, it was just really easy. It was really fun. I liked this paint a lot, and I'm not someone who gets too excited about painting with acrylics, but I did 2 projects back to back this evening when I was painting this, the grid journal layout, which if it's not on my YouTube channel yet, it will be shortly, and this one. And it was just like, I didn't want to stop painting. I was having so much fun. And when a product is so fun that you stop thinking so much about the product and you're just thinking about the painting, I think that's a good sign. These aren't very expensive. You get a set of 48 colors for around $35, and they have a smaller set too that's less. And I do have the spray that goes with it. They sent me this paint and the spray and a pad of their mixed media paper. So I haven't been using the spray. Before I close it up each time, I just give it a little spray, and then I put the silicone cover that comes with the paint on it, and then put the palette in and click the lid down, and so far so good. It's been a couple months. I'm really surprised that nothing has dried out. It was a little challenging to get that like kind of glossy texture of the salmon inside the roll, so and to mix that exact kind of color that I wanted, but we eventually got there. These colors, you get so many colors, you don't necessarily have to mix that much, but I find that if you don't mix your colors, at least to kind of harmonize them with the other colors, it can look a little amateurish. So I'd still recommend doing a little, maybe even if you're not mixing a bunch, do a little harmonizing and blending, so it just kind of feels a little bit more like all the same light and color is hitting everything. You know what I mean? When you don't mix colors, it tends to look kind of flat because you're not integrating the same light and color into everything. So I still stick with a, fairly limited palette, and I try to mix the colors with one another as I go. So we do have that cross-pollination of color, and everything feels like it's under the same lighting situation. Now, to make the background a little more interesting, I am adding texture. I am using a filbert brush, which is like a flat brush, but the tip is rounded. And I am just kind of throwing in some colors that I think will look nice together. I love the colors aqua and peach together. So I'm adding some of that in. And one of the other hosts of the Food Paint Challenge, I know I'm going to mess up pronouncing her name, but she is a maestro with color. I'm going to link to her Instagram account too, so you can see. I don't know how she pronounces her name, so I don't want to say it and sound like a fool, but she is just phenomenal with color. And I want to link to her channel, her Instagram account too, so you can see how she uses color. And I just love that. I love the texture, the color, getting really painterly effects, because I will go in with detail here, like with these fine tip pens. These pens, by the way, oh my word, they were the find of the season. I think I found this set of 3 pens that I bought because I had like less than $5 left on a gift card that was going to expire. And then they sold out. So I was trying to find those exact same pens from another seller, and I did. And what was better is that this set by Boo Tiger actually has a 0.6. That's this really fine pen I'm using right here for the tiny little glossy reflections. It's got a 0.8 and then a 1.0 millimeter tip. And look at the barrels. They are chock full of ink. And this ink is water-based, but I did find I can varnish over it as long as I'm very gentle when I varnish with a water-based varnish. Just keep that in mind. You don't want to go scrubbing at your painting with your water-based varnish. It will lift it up, but if you just do a gentle coat of varnish on it, it's going to be fine. But it is water-based, so if you did make a mistake over your acrylic painting and your acrylic painting was dry, you could scrub it out with a wet brush. I just wanted to mention that. Or if you were doing it like, say, a highlight on some watercolor and you're like, oh, that's too harsh, you could soften it with a wet brush. So they're definitely a water-based pen, and I'm hoping that will prevent it from drying out. Like some gel pens, like the ball gets stuck and dry. I'm hoping that because it's water-based, it won't have that issue. The first little pack of 3 pens that I bought a couple months ago, still going great. They're still my favorite pens, but these are the exact same thing, so except different sizes, because that's how white labeling works. You'll end up with the same product from different manufacturers and with different labels on them. So, you know, if you find something you love and then you can't find it anymore, if it's from Amazon, from one of those no-name brands or fly-by-night companies, just look around. You probably can find it from somebody else. So that's a little tip for you. Now, to get a little definition, I'm taking that purple color and I'm adding a little bit of an outline around the shadow area, but then I was like, oh, you know, it's a little dark. I did use some pink too for the higher little definition lines. So what I'll end up doing is actually just dulling down those colors. So I could take green and add it to my red or pink and get a black, essentially. I could add orange to the purple and get kind of like get this kind of like not quite brown, but not quite black, just kind of like a reddish grayish blackish color, and that's what I do. Like when I'm mixing my shadows, I'm really going to be looking at the palette mud and mixing colors I've already used, mixing it down so the shadows are natural, because you're going to see desaturated color. That's what shadows are in real life. You're seeing the color of the thing, but it's been desaturated and darkened because there's no light hitting it. So if you think of things like that, it becomes very easy to get natural looking colors, even though I'm using crazy, like I'm pushing the colors and making them a little crazy, because I've mixed my colors together and I've cross-pollinated all my colors and kept the lighting consistent. It still looks believable and it still looks right, even though obviously the colors are a little bit enhanced. And, you know, you'll find a palette that you like. When you find the palette you like, those colors you always reach for, then, you know, it becomes easier because you just instinctively know what to mix. I love to play with different colors, though, and I think that's why I really like this palette by Himi, because I just take one lid off. It's like watercolor. I have all my colors right there. I don't have to squeeze out tubes and deal with stuck caps and all that, because I think that's what really annoys me about painting with acrylics and oils, is just like, I gotta take all the caps off the paint and squeeze them out. I don't want to do that. I'm a lazy painter. I want it all there, ready to go. And surprisingly, this paint has not dried out. So as I use up colors, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to refill them with, because they don't make refills. That's a bummer. But I have some acrylic gouache that I might try refilling some of the colors with, because I do love how matte all these colors are. And hopefully that spray would work on other acrylics too. So all I'm doing here is just, you know, adding some details with the gel pens. It's kind of my favorite part of the painting, you know, because you get to go shine everything up and make it look all finished. And this was just a joy and so much fun to paint. So I hope it inspires you. Check out the food paint challenge on Instagram. It's so much fun. And I hope you enjoyed this little video today. I'll have everything linked in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up before you go. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.